Yeah, good morning. And as promised, we are releasing you the next lesson that is on remote sensing. The previous examination, what I have given, looked to you quite easy. I am sure you would have got disappointed. What is this? A very small lesson. Now onwards, you will be finding very important lessons. This particular lesson, what I am giving you, the coming one more video, both these together may at least get you around 3 to 4 questions in your main examination. That is for multiple choice I am talking about. Now, coming to the remote sensing, there is something very important you need to understand. That is, what do you mean by a remote? Remote means in house you are seeing, you will have a remote for the television, or sometimes you will have a remote for your AC, and even the key what you open in your car, it's a remote. Remote means it is without contact. Like sometimes people say he is living in a remote area. What does it mean by remote area? It means that any area where he doesn't have any contact with other people. Once you know the meaning of remote, the word sensing means sensing something. Like, say for example, you may be sensing that I am going to teach you some good subject. Sensing means assuming. But in this particular case, sensing means taking the photographs without any physical connection. So the word remote sensing, point number one, you should note, it does not have any physical connection. Secondly, before going ahead with all these points what I am going to talk, it is important to understand how you are able to see. For example, in this video, you are able to see me, maybe I think this black shirt with stripes, or maybe behind me you are seeing a bed, or maybe some almirah, this that. You are seeing different colors. Why? When the light falls on an object and it reflects, there is a property of the object, what it is. Say for example, this shirt is looking black to you. Why it is looking black or white stripes to you? When the light falls on that, the particular chemical or maybe the color, whatever they have put in this shirt, it absorbs all the colors and releases black in this black portion, and maybe white in this white portion, and that color comes to your eyes. Why I am trying to explain you this class 5 or class 8 example is, it is very important in the remote sensing also to understand the coming slides. Now, if you have visited with your wife some shopping, if you are a bachelor alone, of course, when you go to shopping, especially in the nights, what they do, they will put some reddish color lights, especially the cloth shops. Why? They are not putting the white light. White light means the natural light, which has got 7 colors, bijor. Whereas certain colors have certain wavelength. When you call sodium light, it means it is the light where it has the wavelength released by the metal sodium. It has some particular wavelength. Like you may have neon light. It is the wavelength that is released by gas neon, helium, something like that. Now, once you go to the shop, you will find all the shirts very beautiful, and you will imagine yourself wearing that and looking like hero. Sure, you will look like hero, I don't deny, but you will look more hero in that light. The reason is the shirt absorbs part of the light and releases only some parts of it light, which are the bright components of it, where the shirt looks to be very beautiful. Therefore, if you buy a shirt during the daylight hours in sunlight and somewhere under a sodium lamp or some other white light, mercury light, its shining differs. Why I am trying to tell you, it is not about the business of clothes. The same manner, when different light falls on the earth, the reception is different by different cameras. If some infrared ray falls on that particular earth, the reflection looks different color. If white light falls, the reflection is something different. Now, let us come into the subject. Keep in mind this particular concept of light falling and different wavelength of light coming back. It looks differently. Just you can remember this cloths example. Now, coming to a small point, this is a remote sensing. Sorry, it has gone ahead. Remote sensing, the target. Target means the mineral area, not that the target which you are going to hit with a gun or something. It is the mineral area. Say, for example, you are searching for some coal or maybe some mineral. It is known as the target area. So, if you get one question, what do you mean by target area? It is the mineral area. RS generally carried, RS means abbreviation for remote sensing, aircraft or spacecraft. The difference between the aircraft and spacecraft is, spacecraft you can call it a satellite. Aircraft is normal aeroplane what you are flying, but surely not that big like Boeing 737. It is a small helicopter like thing which flies at a lower level, and it is also used for aerial photographic, this one, which is not in your present curriculum. So, aircraft means a normal aeroplane and a spacecraft is a satellite. Aerial photography is a geophysical method done by low level flying. This I have told. So, if somebody asks you a question, at what height aerial photography is done, it is done at a low level. Imaging systems and air sampling methods are done through remote sensing. Now, air sampling methods, and there are many uses. In fact, you see, as a mining engineer, we are only talking about target area and some minerals, structural geology, all that. But there are hell number of uses with this remote sensing. But we are limiting ourselves to the requirement of a mining engineer. So here every object has some radiation, and Earth's radiations are electromagnetic in nature. Radiations are emitted by objects on Earth and detected from satellite. This is exactly what I told you. Why this shirt is looking black and white? It means the radiations are emitted by the objects and are received by your eye. Whereas in the case of satellite, it is received by the camera. So this is all about bandwidth. You can read, and very high degree of resolution is obtained. Otherwise, you can't identify. Very important, please remember, many people have a wrong opinion that remote sensing gives you in-depth surface features, whether zinc is there, iron ore is there. No. If somebody tries to tell you that there is iron ore, you can understand from this remote sensing, please don't believe him. It will not give you any subsurface features. Subsurface means deep inside. It can give you only the surface features. Now you can ask me, sir, what is the use of surface features? Like you may have some hills, some trees, all that. That you can see even on, personally you can go and see. But what is the use of remote sensing? The use of remote sensing is, the structural mapping can be done with this. Structural mapping, I am talking about mining point of view. Structural mapping will help you where some dikes are there, or faults are there, or some possible areas are there where erosion is more, and you will come to know, maybe in the coming slides we are going to explain you how erosion is identified. When there is erosion, some type of minerals will come. All this can be understood from your remote sensing maps. So this slide only tells you about underlying geology can be assessed from vegetation patterns, like there is a thick forest, or you can say there is a thin forest. If I leave you in the forest, gentlemen, for example, can you really say whether it is thick or thin? You can only say around you there are 100 trees, so it is thick. What if it is thin outside? But the overall picture of the forest or the rivers, what are flowing, in which direction they are flowing, and all this can be seen only from a remote sensing map. And from aerial photographs also you can do it. Now, geostationary satellite. This is very important for you to be explained. Gentlemen, from now onwards the videos will be longer, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but I request you to listen them patiently. If you can't listen them at a stretch, listen them in two pieces. When I am able to teach you in a stretch, why you cannot listen? Try to listen in single stretch, not single stretch, or 2-3 times if you are getting bored. Now, I am telling you about geostationary satellite. Very frequently we will be hearing about this. What does it mean? Before knowing what is geostationary satellite, I will give you two wings or aeroplane or two wings for you, like your Batman, your children see it. And you can fly in the air. What? You can fly in the air with a camera. Now, if you are staying in Guntur or maybe Madhya Pradesh, Indore, or maybe some place where in Orissa, many friends from Orient Cements and other cements have sent their mail ID. You are staying in Orient Cement area. Exactly, you are asked to fly above the Orient Cement area, maybe at 100 meters or 500 meters or 1000 meters or 2 kilometers height, and you are asked to rotate along with the earth. Whatever the speed of earth is, you are maintaining, and you are continuously taking the cameras, photographs. What photos you will get? You are also moving, earth is also moving at the same speed. So obviously you are taking the photograph of the same area n number of times. Gentlemen, that orbit what you are roaming is known as geostationary orbit, and if in your place a satellite rotates, it is known as geostationary satellite. And remember, geostationary satellites are your INSAT and all this what you listen in now. They go to Tirupati, break a coconut, again start the satellite, it goes up, sends you photographs. They are all geostationary satellites. They fly at very huge height. When they take the photograph and observe the same area for a long time, you will get different information about that area. Like that, there are many geostationary satellites. So this is important to remember. What do you mean by geostationary? Geo means earth, stationary means fixed. Satellite is moving, you are moving. That orbit is known as geostationary orbit, and the satellite is known as geostationary satellite. Relief means height or the depth, which all of you know. What is the main importance of the relief? You will have to know whether it is a hill or a valley or a house or something. What is the use of a photograph if it cannot identify whether it is hill or something? So that perception of the depth is very important, especially once these photographs are there, and it is known as a relief. Now, a relief occurs only when some erodes. This some spelling mistake is there. When some area erodes, please put here some area, area, okay, you can write with a pen. What do you mean by erodes? Say for example, there is a hill. What does it mean? If you call something a hill, side by it you have a depression or a flat area. So there is a elevational difference between the hill. This is the hill and this is the flat area here. So between hill and flat area there is a distance. How this became flat? Earlier it was also hill. It got eroded gradually. So because of erosion, the relief takes place. The erosion causes difference in tone reflection. This is very important. There are 5 important properties from which you will be knowing about remote sensing. We are not going to teach you in depth of remote sensing. It is a course of 3 months. We actually teach it for gate geology. Some people come here with us for gate geology. Some 10 and 15 people have come. We are teaching them now for next year 2021. So for them the tone reflection and other things are required. Basically the tone is the difference of the color or exhibits, what it exhibits. Like I may look a little dark, most of you may be quite like tomato or good looking colors. Some of you may be a little darker even to me. The difference in the color what it reflects is known as the tone. If we all take photographs, don't believe this WhatsApp photographs and what you send in profile. I am talking about your Aadhaar card photographs. It will reflect you how you look. Practically it will show you how you look. That tonal difference means the difference in the color what actually is there. So here in remote sensing also the tonal difference is identified between different photographs. Okay. So this you can remember. The tonal difference can vary from season to season, from time to time. If there is haze means like clouds. In Kannada they call megha, meghamulu in Telugu. ये जो जब आता है ना that hedge or some dew points and dew and other things, that time also there will be difference in photograph. Like that is precisely the reason why whenever a remote sensing map is there, the time is printed on that. Okay, not that you love the time and other things, time is printed for that reason. One more, there is no absolute tone for any object. You cannot say a grass will be with this tone, a person will be at this tone, a building is of this tone. No, there is no such tone, fixed tone for anything. It is the difference. Now, this is all normal. One very important point, even for mining engineers and geologists, such points will be coming in examination generally, all this point. Acidic rocks are lighter compared to basic rocks. What are acidic rocks and basic rocks? Yes, simply it is not a geology class to remember easily. Acidic rocks are where silica is more. Basic rocks are those where silica is less. Acidic rocks look lighter. Basic rocks looks darker. Okay? This much you remember. Acidic rocks are there having high silica. Basic rocks have low silica. Acidic rocks are light in color. Basic rocks are darker in color. Now, whenever acidic rocks are there, it gives a light tone in remote sensing photograph, whereas the basic rocks give darker tone in a remote sensing photograph. Structures, beddings and foliations can be recognized. The structural features, beddings we are going to get in, I think, next class, or when we are going to get? Okay, we are going to get maybe after another couple of days. In fact, I have a lot of help. I am only speaking. I have many of my friends here, geologists and other people. I am talking to them. Now, there are five or four important aspects which are required in remote sensing. They are tone. I told you tone means approximately the color. Shape. If I show you a square shape, will you call it a sea or a river? You will feel that it must be some form. Most of you would have gone by flight. When you see from 3-4 kilometers, you will say, hey, this is house, or this is field, this is river. That how do you do? This is from the shape. The same thing here also. Size you can estimate, pattern, texture, all these are important in the remote sensing. Friends, this is on the remote sensing. I will show you some schematic pictures where it may give you some idea. Okay, these are all from Google. It will take a half minute for opening. Yes, you see here this is a satellite. Okay, generally you are finding nowadays in many Hindi movies and English movies, don't believe, they are not going on satellite. They cannot travel on satellite or stand on that and fight with villain. Sonu Sood is a good man, he is an excellent man, but there in the villain they will fight on the satellite, they will shout from there, all that is nonsense. They will die if they come out at that -degree temperatures. For repair they may come. So this is the satellite. So what happens when the sunlight falls? It comes there, it forms on different things like grass. Only for example he has given. Like this may be water, and here it goes to satellite and records all the things. Water may not look like water. Remember, water may look green, it may look red, it may look blue. That immediate how it looks, what it looks is not for you. That is for geology people. For them we are teaching. Okay, for you to understand, the forest generally looks red, but it is green originally. Now there is one more link. There is one more link which I would like to show. Layers in RS imaging. RS means remote sense imaging. You may say, sir, when I take photograph, how do I get different features? Now, at different wavelengths will give you different photographs, different reflections. Like if you see all this blue color, all this is a dendritic drainage pattern. It is a drainage pattern, not dendritic, it is a drainage pattern. You will call this as some first order streams. This is a first order, this is second order, this is first order, third order, again big stream. So, when you take the surface features at certain particular wavelength, it will give all this. This is in the one layer, okay? Look, are you able to see? This is all in the one layer. Then the next layer is giving you something like a greenery, another layer is giving you some other color, this is giving certain mosaic colors. So this I am trying to explain you. It is not simply one photograph gives you all these things. Multiple photographs are taken and they are mixed. Dear friends, you are requested to understand this. I am also sending you the question paper and some notes. Notes is good for remote sensing. Read it well. You can add some notes. If I have given something wrong, you can correct me. And in fact, the correction need not be secret. You can tell openly such that everybody will correct. Then, most importantly, questions. Every question paper, please print and mark answers after I release the key. Then preserve them in a file. Next month onwards, we are going to conduct examinations for 2 hours examination online, timed. It gives you score, negative marking, everything. Until next month, whatever subjects I am going to complete, maybe geology I am likely to complete by July first week. The first Sunday of July onwards, we are going to open your exams. Maybe some 6 7 topics I will make it into 4 examinations, and you are free to write them. Some nominal payment for internet. I can't really pay for internet for all of you. So for that maybe 50 or 170 or some amount, very easy to pay. Immediately the moment you get the money, we get the money, you will get a password, we will send you how to do it. And if you are not on my Facebook, you are requested to just ask for a member. And I request you, thank you very much.